again, welcome back to Wingot Plays Satisfactory. The sun is rising above the clouds, well, above the horizon, and we are ready to get started on building a bit of a train network. I think to start with, probably what we want to do is we want to connect. Basically, we want some way that we can get a heavy modular frame build set up, and it will need to have as inputs the screws, which you can make with the steel. Screws can be made with the steel beam recipe, which converts 1 to 52, which is much more efficient than 5 to 20. It's going to need encased industrial beams, which are again made with steel plus concrete. It's going to need steel beams, which are made with steel. And it's going to need modular frames, which can be made with steel and reinforced iron plates. And then the last question is, can reinforced iron plates be made with steel? They use iron plates plus wire or screws. Screws we can make with steel, but the iron plates we can only make with iron ingots. So what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to bring in iron ingots plus coal to a location, and then those together will allow us to make everything and limestone, and those will allow us to make everything we need to get the heavy modular frames up and running. So the first step is we're going to need to build somewhere that is connected to the train network, which is basically going to be our location for our heavy modular frame build. I'm just going to grab some iron plates and concrete to make sure we've got enough foundation material, and then let's go take a look, see what we can do about finding somewhere that we want to place our heavy modular frame build. I suspect that probably if we pop over into the it's not the Dune Desert, it's the Rocky Desert over here, I think is probably going to be a nice place to put this build in. All we're going to need is somewhere that has a reasonable amount of flat space. So how about, hey buddy, out of the way. Perfect. So what if we just pop over to I do know where there is a big flat area. So just going to head over. Arguably we could use this space that I'm in at the moment, but one thing I think I want to do is actually put it a reasonable distance away from the original base so that it forces me to use a bit of trains. That said, I think I might use this area. So after saying that, let's go around and clear out this space so that, I'm going to need some solid biofuel. I'll be back in just a moment after I've got some solid biofuel and cleared out that space there for our heavy modular frame build. And welcome back. I made a 10 by 10 space to play around with, and I started by placing a bit of train line, and it looks like to get a 90-degree turn, the minimum space that you need is three tiles wide. I didn't seem to be able to get a better option of getting a 90-degree turn. Basically, you need 2 spaces in between, and then even when you do that, you can't just connect from there to there because it says it's too sharp of a turn. Instead, what you need to do is actually basically make two separate pieces, and then it will be fine, even though it said that that turn was not possible. Secondly, I realized that the train stations are absolutely massive. As you can see here, the 10, this is where the 10 by 10 platform stopped, and in order to have a train with 4 carriages, this would need to extend all the way out to here, plus then we would want another 3 for turning lanes, as we figured out at the front there, and so this platform needs to be at least 18 deep. It also needs to be, as you can see here, that is clipping through, oops, that is clipping through over here, but ignoring the clipping, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 platforms wide. We're going to have 3 inputs to this setup: the coal, the iron ingots, and the concrete. And so this is going to need to be at least another 10 slots wide to fit both of those 2 train stations. Sorry, at least 5 more to fit the other input station, because we need 3 input stations. But then, of course, we also need an output station. And ideally, we also want a passenger access station so that we can tell a train to bring us here and it will automatically do it. So that's going to use a fair bit more space. Effectively, what we want is a 20 by 20 grid to have a little bit of wiggle room on both sides, depth-wise, and to at least be wide enough. And so, what I was thinking is that instead of trying to deal with that, and you can see it's already clipping into the train, and over this side there's a hill that's getting, that would very much be getting in the way that we're already clipping into here. So instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to elevate the train station, which is what this pillar here is for. If we take it up 24 meters, then we should be able to just build a train station up here without too much difficulty. What am I doing? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think we're going to be out of concrete before this build finishes, though, at this rate. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's quickly get rid of that one, and we'll pop back downstairs, and we'll get rid of all these foundations we've placed here, which should hopefully be enough to get us back. Which should hopefully be enough to get us. I'm at the dismantle limit. Perfect. Get us the rest of the platforms that we need to at least get 2 of our stations up and running. So let's leave those ones in place so that they look like they're actually holding it up. And then I've forgotten how far I've gone deep at this point, so I think I need to count again. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Perfect. Now let's just finish this one up because it broke. Perfect. And while we're at it, let's get rid of these trees which are very much in the way. Perfect. Good. And we now have space here to put down a couple of train stations. So, floor is too steep, fine, whatever. So the middle of the first one's going to be here, and if we line it up so that it's perfectly in the middle and on the edge. Looks like I missed getting it on the edge. What happened there? Weird. Okay, so train station, what we want is there. Good, so that should be in the middle. And then we also want the railway. 1, 2, 3. I think actually I want to move that back one. Let's get that out of the way. In fact, let's hold. There we go. Train station, which can then go there. Good. 1, 2, 3. This here is going to be our output. Oops. Get rid of that. This here. So 1, 2, 3. So here is where we're going to start. And then our railway is just going to go off in this direction. And just 1, 2. I've started in the wrong spot. Perfect. Okay, railway needs to be in the middle there. Good. And then we can just go like that. Perfect. So then we can, as I said, we can go here, halfway, and then connect. Perfect. So now we just need some, interesting, some freight platforms attached to here as well. And you can select which side the output's going to be on. So 1, 2, no, that's changed sides. Okay. Come on. 2, 3, 4. Good, so that will now hold one train with 4 carriages on it. And then what we need to, the last thing we need to do is go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So this here should be our input line. And then I think I've screwed that up, haven't I? No. Because that goes to there. Oh no, nope, that looks right. 1, 2, 1, 2. Yep, okay, cool, so that's right, perfect. And then we may as well put a train on here, facing that way. Train with freight cars, 4 of them. Oops. Good. Now, this here is going to be, let's call this one coal drop-off. Well, actually, it's the heavy modular frame coal drop. Okay, so we've got a limited, yes, we've got limited space for a train name. Fine. Heavy modular frame coal drop. Perfect, let's call it that. Good. Now, this train here will be, oops, actually, train menu. Can you name it? Train, here we go. Coal, coal 1 to heavy modular frame coal. Okay, so this train's going to be carrying coal, and it doesn't look like there's a particular length on the train names. Good. It can turn, let's tell it that it needs to go to heavy modular frame coal drop, save, and self-driving on. Perfect. In fact, let's quickly turn off self-driving. Oh, I'm not going to be able to move it because this station doesn't yet have power. We're going to have to bring a power line over to actually get it up and running before we can do anything else. Also, with where I've placed this, the output here, I'm going to need space here to fiddle with those outputs from the coal line. Perfect. And if we take a look over here, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's 5 wide, and then we're going to need 1 space for actually fiddling with the outputs. So we should actually plan on building these 6 wide. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we should plan on building this another one wide for the next train station. And then, of course, we need 2 more beyond that. So we need 3 more train stations in total. But let's work on taking a look at where is there a nice coal node around that we can harvest. Obviously, there's that coal over there that we've been utilizing, which it's just found. Then up here, there's multiple pure nodes, which are all basically behind our storage facility. Then there's that guy over there, which we already are using. And that's all it seems to have found. Okay, so over here, up there, there's numerous pure nodes. So it might be worth popping up there, taking a look at what we've got to work with, and then working on extracting that. Where did I put my car? Dude, where's my car? Where's my car? Dude. There, perfect, cool. So let's go take a quick look at the coal node that we've got up there. And I'm sure at the stage that I'm at, a single freight train would be more than enough. But effectively, I want to build for future, where I'm going to be moving large quantities of resources around. And so, with that in mind, is why I'm doing 4 freight trains. Now, what we want to do is we want to get up there, we want to take a look behind our storage shed and take a look at the coal nodes that are there. And in fact, what we probably should do is take a few portable miners with us so that we can set up 3, because I think it's 3, miner Mark IIs up there to start looking and extracting that coal. I don't think I've got much in the way of spares sitting here. Good. So let's quickly make 2 more of these. 4 more of these, which will fill out our inventory. Although our inventory does have a not insignificant amount of biomass. So let's quickly pop over to here. And this is our leaves. And this is our wood. Perfect. And that'll convert all of that into solid biofuel. And then we might as well also drop off the alien organism parts over here. Into there. Alien organisms. Perfect. And we don't need those flowers. Good. Now, cars down here. Looks like we're running a little low in coal, but this car is full of coal anyway, so I'll be able to refill it. And here we go, here's our storage facility. And in behind the storage facility, I believe, is where those coal nodes were. Hopefully it's not under what we've already built, because that would be, well, let's just say inconvenient. I think I see them glistening there in the background. Good. I thought that was about to bounce its way into a spot where I couldn't continue driving it. There we go. There's the coal nodes. Directly behind. In fact, that's one. Let's take a look. One I'm up to. I don't have any modular frames on me. Okay, fine. Now, question is though, where's the other coal? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, okay, cool. And these are all pure nodes. Apparently there's more over there. Okay. Oh! Let's pull that back out. How many are there? Okay. I think... yeah, good. That's all of those dead. Let's use the inhaler quickly. Why is my view so zoomed in? Like, normally the inhaler's not that big on the screen, I don't think. Something's up there. Anyway, yes, I need to go grab some modular frames. I'll be back in just a moment. So as you can see, I've built the miners. They're all producing 240 because they're all pure nodes with Mark II miners. And I spent a little while trying to figure out how to make a clean looking platform for a train with 4 freight carriages on it. And basically it would have had to have gone all the way up to the wall there. And it also made me realize that that is not going to be enough space for the train stations. So probably they'll wind up going on the roof. I'm not quite sure. We'll have to figure that out now that we've got trains to play with. But in the meantime, the easy solution that I've come up with is basically just that instead what we're going to do is we are just going to run conveyor belts. Yes, literally conveyors. We're going to just conveyor belt everything down and then use elevators to take it downstairs. So if we do that, we should be able to connect that over to here without too much difficulty. Perfect. And then just run that all the way to there. And then we'll put elevators onto the end of it, as far down as it can go. Perfect. And then we'll build a train station down there, which will then be able to connect up into our train network and send over to there, where you can just see the train station that we've got being built there. In future, we'll build like spirals to get trains up into this area, and obviously we'll need to because of our storage facility there, but for the time being this will be the simplest way of getting trains up and running. And it looks like what we're going to need to do is basically chain a couple of conveyors down, and then we can just place let's say we want it at about, about this height. Perfect. And then there's 3 across, and so we should have them all coming down to these 3 locations, and then from here we can extend out the conveyor belts, and then let's not build into the rock there. So what was that? That was, oh, we've got space for one more, looks like. Yeah. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then if we go to 18, that will give us enough space for a full 1x5 platform. 1x5 train station, plus it'll have enough space for the turning lanes as well. So Boom, that's done, and now we just need to go 8 along here. Good. Bring that across to here, and then connect that up to there. Close enough. Good. Perfect. And then we want 1, 2, 3. So the train station's going to go here. 1, 2, 3. And the trains will be going that direction. So we actually want to start it from this side. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, and the train station can go right here. Is that pointing towards me? I think it is. And where's the middle? The middle is right there. Perfect. So, train station, this one is going to be coal pickup. Perfect. And then we just need to put a couple of freight platforms onto the back of here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. And that's right, we're going to actually have to make this one more wide. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to overclock one of those miners and split it into 2, so that basically we've got each of these being fed by one 240 per minute line. Perfect. But let's quickly just go here and we can grab the Mark III, which will allow us to go, let's see, that's a 90 degree there. And we want to run this all the way down to our first line. So let's see. That is the next one, because this is the perfect. So then that'll have coal going into this one, and we are at 240 per minute, with a slight issue of whenever a train docks, it will stop inputting, but we'll ignore that for the time being. Now I just need to replicate that 3 more times, including overclocking that one of those mines, and that will get us to the point where we then have the trains, the train network stations built. Now that can go, yeah, okay. I think pretty much always want to actually build the train line first. And then we actually want this there, going to there. Good, and then that should allow us to connect that to there. Did I go one too far over? Yeah, because it actually wants to go to here. Oops. Okay, get rid of that. Replace it with here. Let's see, where's the middle? The middle is there. Good, and then that can come to there. Good, and then I think that wants to connect to there. Perfect. Good, and then this line will go back down to the ground there and connect over. Let's quickly pop up here. Ooh, let's. Good. Yeah, and then it'll run basically around and connect over to that other station over there. I wonder if I've collected that one. I think I probably have that hard drive. Oh, I didn't realize I activated this one. Hey guys. Good. And done. Awesome. Now all I need to do is actually run these railways between the two, and I need to actually connect the power to these and the coal mines and run the remaining conveyors down from those coal mines. And then at that point, we'll have the coal being delivered to the I've already forgotten what it's called, to the heavy modular frame build. And this can probably just go like that for now, and in the future we can always rebuild it if it needs to actually turn or anything. But yes, we've made some good progress. We've played around with the trains a little bit, figured out how they work. Now we just need to put in place the networks to actually start utilizing them. Thank you for watching. Stay happy and healthy, and I hope to see you in the next one.